That feeling of being on a perfectly fine date, but your mind is a million miles away. You're smiling, you're nodding, but you're also running a constant anxious script. Do they like me? Am I saying the right thing? Is this going anywhere? You're physically present, but emotionally, you're a ghost. Most single people think their problem is their dating profile, their conversation skills, or their appearance. That's a trap. 99% of people are being held back by a single, invisible force they don't even know is there. Fixing it isn't about learning a new trick, it's about rewiring the very energy you bring into every interaction. To skip the last part is to risk polishing the outside of the car while the engine is still broken. It might look good, but it's not going to take you anywhere you truly want to go. The approach goal, okay, let's just name the beast. The single biggest reason most people stay single is not because there's a shortage of good people out there. It's not because you're undateable, it's because you are subconsciously operating from a place of deep-seated fear, specifically the fear of rejection. This fear is a powerful, ancient, and sneaky force. It's a relic of our tribal past, where being rejected from the group could literally mean death. So your brain is hardwired to take rejection very, very seriously. In the modern dating world, this primal fear manifests as what psychologists call an avoidance goal. An avoidance goal is when your primary motivation in a situation is to avoid a negative outcome. In dating, this sounds like, my goal on this date is to not make a fool of myself. My goal is to not get rejected. My goal is to not seem desperate. My goal is to not get hurt. When your brain is oriented around an avoidance goal, every single thing you do is filtered through the lens of threat detection. This is the science of what happens in your body. Your amygdala, the brain's little alarm system, is on high alert. It's scanning for any potential sign of rejection, a slight frown, a glance at their phone, a moment of silence. When it detects a potential threat, it floods your system with cortisol, the stress hormone. Your heart rate increases, your palms might get sweaty, and your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for wit, creativity, and authentic connection, starts to go offline. You literally can't be your best, most charming self when your brain is in threat mitigation mode. You become guarded, you play it safe, you ask boring, predictable questions because you're afraid to ask something bold. You don't share your quirky, passionate opinions because you're afraid they might disagree. You become a bland, watered-down, safe version of yourself. And the tragic irony is that this safe version of you is the most forgettable version of you. By trying so hard to avoid rejection, you are accidentally guaranteeing that you won't be chosen. You are becoming invisible. The solution is to consciously and deliberately flip the script in your own mind. You have to replace your avoidance goal with what's called an approach goal. An approach goal is when your primary motivation is to move toward a positive outcome. It's a subtle but world-altering shift in your internal orientation. Instead of don't get rejected, an approach goal sounds like, my goal on this date is to see if I can make this person laugh genuinely. My goal is to learn one fascinating new thing about this person. My goal is to express my passion for my hobby and see if their eyes light up. My goal is to have fun, regardless of the outcome. Can you feel the energetic difference? An approach goal is expansive, curious, and creative. It puts you in the driver's seat. You are no longer a passive participant hoping to be validated. You are an active participant looking to create a positive experience. When your brain is focused on an approach goal, it's not looking for threats, it's looking for opportunities. It releases dopamine, the molecule of motivation and reward, which makes you feel more engaged, more energized, and more confident. You are no longer playing defense, you are playing offense in the best way possible. This single mental flip is the foundation for everything else. It is the master key that unlocks your most authentic, magnetic self. The signal audit now that we have the right internal mindset, the approach goal, we need to make sure our external signals are aligned with it. This is where so many people sabotage themselves without even realizing it. You can have the best intentions in the world, but if your body language is screaming, I'm nervous and closed off, that's the message people will receive. Our brains are wired to trust nonverbal cues far more than verbal ones. I want you to conduct what I call a signal audit. This is about becoming a scientist of your own body language and identifying the subtle, closed signals you might be sending out, signals that are a direct result of that old avoidance goal mindset. These are the cues that tell the world, don't come too close, I'm not safe, I'm not sure about this. The most common closed signals are what we call blocking cues. These are physical barriers we put up to create a subconscious sense of safety. The classic example is crossing your arms over your chest. While you might just be cold, in a social context, it's a powerful signal that you are emotionally or mentally closed off. Another one is holding your drink, your phone, or your purse in front of your chest like a shield. Think about it. You are literally placing an object between your heart and the other person. Other blocking cues include clasping your hands tightly in your lap, or even just keeping your hands hidden in your pockets. These are all low-confidence defensive postures that betray an inner state of anxiety. You are making yourself smaller, less accessible, and less open to connection. The antidote to these closed signals is to consciously practice opening signals. The goal is to make your body language a physical manifestation of your new approach goal. This means aiming to keep the space between your neck and your navel, your torso, open and unblocked. Instead of crossing your arms, try to keep them relaxed at your sides or use them to make expressive gestures. Instead of holding your drink like a shield, hold it down at your side when you're not drinking. This feels vulnerable at first because it is. You are non-verbally communicating, I am open to you. I have nothing to hide. I am comfortable and confident. Another powerful opening signal is using open palm gestures. When you talk with your palms facing up, it's a primal signal of trust and honesty. It says, I come in peace, I have no hidden weapons. It makes people feel instantly more at ease with you. The signal audit is about catching yourself in those moments of social anxiety when you start to close off and making a conscious choice to open back up. It's a physical practice that retrains your brain. Every time you uncross your arms or lower your drink, you are sending a message back to your own brain that says, I am safe, I am open, I am ready to connect. The authenticity. Filter okay, your mindset is expansive, your body language is open. Now we get to the heart of the interaction, the conversation. This is where that old avoidance goal loves to sabotage us. Out of a fear of saying the wrong thing, we resort to what I call interview mode. We ask a boring, predictable script of questions. Where are you from? What do you do? Do you have any siblings? While these questions aren't inherently bad, they create a sterile, transactional vibe. It feels like a job interview, not a genuine human connection. You are collecting biographical data, not exploring a personality. This is the safest, most boring conversation you can possibly have, and it is a direct symptom of the fear of rejection. You are so afraid of hitting a nerve or creating a moment of disagreement that you stick to the most superficial topics imaginable. The solution is to apply what I call the authenticity filter to every question you ask and every story you share. The filter is a simple question you ask yourself. Does this invite them to reveal their personality or just their resume? You have to start asking questions that get to the why behind the what. Instead of, what do you do? Which invites a job title, try asking, what's a project you're working on right now that you're really passionate about? This question is brilliant because it gives them permission to talk about their job if they love it, but it also gives them an out to talk about their side hustle, their creative hobby, or their volunteer work. It invites them to share what actually lights them up. Instead of, have you traveled anywhere cool? Try asking, of all the places you've traveled, which one felt the most like home and why? This question bypasses the travel checklist and gets to their values, their feelings, and their sense of belonging. The goal is to ask questions that you are genuinely curious about, questions that have a little bit of soul to them. This filter also applies to how you answer questions. When someone asks you, what do you do? Don't just give your job title. Use the opportunity to share a little bit of your why. Instead of saying, I'm a marketing manager, try something like, I work in marketing, and the part I love most is the psychology of it, trying to figure out what really motivates people. It's like being a detective for human behavior. That one extra sentence opens up a dozen interesting conversational threads. It reveals your passion, your curiosity, and your unique perspective. It gives the other person so much more to connect with than just a job title. Applying the authenticity filter is about having the courage to be a little bit vulnerable, to share your real opinions, your quirky interests, and your genuine passions. It's about betting that the real, unfiltered version of you is far more interesting than the safe, boring version you've been hiding. And it's a bet you will win every single time. The connection anchor. This is the final, most crucial piece of the puzzle. This is the internal work that makes all the external changes feel real and sustainable. You can have the perfect approach goal, the most open body language, and the most authentic questions. But if your sense of self-worth is completely dependent on the outcome of the date, you will still be radiating a subtle, anxious energy. This is about building what I call the connection anchor. It is the deep internal sense of wholeness that allows you to go into any social interaction from a place of contribution, not a place of need. It's about making sure that you are not going on dates to get your validation tank filled up, because you have already learned how to fill it up yourself. Building your connection anchor means you have to stop treating dating as the primary or sole source of connection and validation in your life. It's a classic mistake. We feel lonely, so we throw all of our energy into finding a partner, which paradoxically makes us come across as needy and pushes people away. Your mission is to create a life that is so rich in connection in so many different forms that a romantic partner becomes a wonderful plus, not a desperate must. This means actively investing in your friendships. When was the last time you initiated a deep, meaningful conversation with a friend? When was the last time you planned a fun outing with your platonic support system? Every ounce of energy you invest in your friendships strengthens your connection anchor. It also means investing in your relationship with yourself. This is about cultivating a life that you are genuinely in love with, even when you're single. What are the hobbies that put you in a state of flow where you completely lose track of time? What are the activities that make you feel strong and alive in your own body? What are the goals and projects that give you a sense of purpose and meaning? You have to date yourself first. You have to become the kind of person you would want to date. When you are genuinely fulfilled by your work, your friendships, and your passions, you walk into a date with a completely different energy. You are not there to audition for a role in their life. You are there to see if they might be a fun co-star in the amazing movie that is your life. You are not trying to get something from them. You are there to share the amazing energy you already have. This is the ultimate energetic reframe. You are not an empty cup hoping they will fill you. You are a full cup, and you are simply looking for someone else with a full cup to share a drink with. The reason 99% of people are kept single by this is that they are stuck in a feedback loop of fear. The fear of rejection leads to an avoidance goal, which leads to closed-off behavior and boring conversations, which leads to a lack of connection, which reinforces the belief that they are bad at dating, which deepens the fear of rejection. Fixing this is not about changing who you are. It's about finally having the courage to let who you are shine through. It's about replacing the goal of avoiding rejection with the goal of creating connection. It's about building a life so full of love in all its forms that the search for one specific kind of love becomes a joyful exploration, not a desperate hunt. What's one avoidance goal you've caught yourself using in your own life, even outside of dating? Let's get real in the comments.